From the company station and camp on the Peel, this lush river valley through time would reveal. Killala renowned to mean place of battle, would attract Henry Dangar to settle. And as thousands of sheep grazed on Gunnaganoo, the Peel River Valley just grew. Then from 1850 Tamworth would stand as the jewel in the crown of New England. Let the city of light always shine so bright, let country run deep in her veins, let valley to range survive the change, let the pride of New England remain. You're tuned into the Shaza Leigh Show, produced by the LBS Music Group and recorded at LBS Musicland in Tamworth, Australia's country music capital. We thank today's sponsors, Oz Radio Gold, DLX Detailing and Shot by Lock Photography. We have a couple of really special guests here today, and it's an honour for me to have these ladies on the set. I've known them for many years, and they've had amazing careers since before I even came to Tamworth over 30 years ago. So two of Australian country music's icons and stalwarts of country music capital. Welcome, Lynette Guest and Patti Morgan.
Hello, Shaza.
G'day, Shaza.
Lovely to have you here. Your contribution to Australian country music and to Tamworth as country music capital has just been huge. I don't think that I've ever been to an event that you two don't donate your time, and you're always there for everybody to help them out. Have you always just been community-minded like that?
I think so, yes.
I think so.
I wanted to start there because in the 30 years that I've known you, it's been significant, your contribution in that area. I know that you have magnificent careers in your own right. You worked the entire Northwest in the early days.
Well, Patti was working on her own and, doing long hauls,
yeah,
really.
I thought, I don't want to do it on my own. So.
And I'd had a go at that myself, but I wasn't comfortable on that.
No. And it just fell into it.
And we fell into that,
yeah.
And it just worked perfectly.
Yes.
Two of us, we started out as a duo and two guitars and...
Then we got a drum machine.
Oh,
we thought we were flash then.
Yeah. Add to the sound a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then depends on the gigs, if we were doing weddings or special birthdays, we'd get a band together where there's a bit more money, to be able to pay musicians to be with us.
And we often had Peggy Gilchrist with us.
Yes, Peggy Gilchrist, and she was still at school.
Well, I know Peg always is always grateful because she considers you two as being huge influences on her career and giving her that opportunity to become a working musician rather than just a muso that sat in their room playing.
Oh, that's wonderful that you think that. It's
very nice. Yeah.
No, it was a pleasure having Peg. We
we
knew what she could do.
Yes, we always had a lot of faith in Peg. And
then we get Dally Cross sometimes.
Dally and Peg.
And even
Janelle Dawson.
You've given a lot of local musicians an opportunity like that to help them become more than they possibly would have had the chance to without your careers.
Well, I didn't ever think of it like that.
It's a fact though. Your involvement with the CCMA, you're still both highly proactive. We've had the opportunity to work together on that committee for the last couple of years, and I'm in awe of the work ethic that you two have behind the scenes, helping the younger artists and newcomers. They don't even need to be young. You give everyone the equal opportunity. You can give them a platform.
Everybody deserves to go, don't they?
They do, and it's something we enjoy.
You do.
You
Yes.
know, if they come to our jam, everyone's equal.
Yes. So
Anyone can get up and sing.
I'd like to step back to your early careers now, and probably you first, Linny. What inspired you and motivated you to move to Tamworth, because you came from the Murray River?
Well, I came up to Tamworth in 1975 with my parents, a girl I went to school with, and a couple of others, and it was to enter the CCMA talent quest. Even though prior to that, like 3 years before, I toured Australia with the Buddy Williams show.
Yes.
But I'd heard about Tamworth, only that we were camped down on the Murray, and Dad would have his radio going.
Yeah.
And tuning in for country music, and then they were talking about Tamworth. He got onto 2TM somehow, and they talked about this country music festival, and I said, gee, we should go to that. And so we all voted the next following year we'd go.
You packed up the family, came up?
So ended the CCMA Talent Quest. And Jeanette Martin, who I went to school with, she ended it. We ended together, you know.
Yeah.
We were in every section going. And but I was lucky enough to take home the major prize.
Fantastic.
It was a bit harder those days. There were no male or female sections.
Oh, okay, so it was an open category.
It was an open, and I was up
Right.
against bands as well.
Yes.
And I was up against my future husband, which I didn't know. Roger
And you were too
Walker.
good for him.
And Glenn Green, the late Green.
Yes.
And it's funny how you meet people and you don't think you'll meet them again.
Yeah.
And the circle goes round, and I ended up, you know, moving to Tamworth, or coming back to record in the April. And then I was a bit back and forth. And then I'd fill in time when I was here working with the band Rod's was in, Country Gold. And but it just went on from there. So yes, then developed romance with Rod there.
Beautiful.
And that's how I came to live in Tamworth, because of him.
And Rod's an amazing man in his own right. I remember when I first came to Tamworth, and I remembered this one-man band, and I didn't sort of know too much about Tamworth or country music, I guess, for that matter.
Yes.
But the person that I remembered the most as a 17-year-old was Rod Walker.
always his aim to leave an impression
Well,
on
he did.
people, and he,
And he still does.
He still does. But that's just things he loved. He was looking for something besides working in bands. You know, he had his normal day job, but that's his own thing. He developed that one-man band, and this idea came to him, and I think it was there before I even met him.
Yes. And like all of us in this room, he has been inducted into the Hands of Fame,
Yes,
and a
yes.
very worthy induction, as are you two. So,
It was a great honour.
so I'd like to move on to you now, Pat, and you moved to Tamworth as well. What was your story?
Well, I lived in Wollongong, and I just wanted to get away from the place way back then, and I had relatives up here in Tamworth. I used to listen to Hoedown, and I thought that'd be a nice place to go, you know. So that's why we all moved to Tamworth.
So Hoedown's been pretty significant in the country music industry, because all of us, that was our only connection to Australian country music.
Yes, I used to find it on the dial down there, and it'd fade out, and you know, every now and again you get it really good, and so that was my introduction to country music, really.
And so that inspired you to move to Tamworth.
Moved to Tamworth, even though I did play guitar and sang in the lounge room, I didn't like to get up and sing in front of anyone. I was too shy, but this is my, the opening to do it, I suppose,
You started professionally in this city.
Yes, really, I did, yes. I belonged to a few country music club down the coast, but really I got into it when I was up here.
What made you start performing solo careers to begin with?
I used to sing in the Currabubula Hotel in the bar, because I lived down that way, and I just get my guitar out and sing in the bar, and that's how I started singing, and just fell into it.
So that explains to me now the connection you still have with Currabubula.
Yes.
Because even to recent years, like right up to 12 months ago, you used to still run jams and that down at Currabubula.
That's where we first had a jam down there, and then we moved from there to Tamworth.
Yes. Yeah, okay, now I understand.
Yes. And we'd go down to practice, and the labels would say, "Can you practice such and such a song? Can you practice such and such a song?" That was their request. I said, "We're only practicing."
Can I ask you, what's the funniest gig that you recall, the two of you, once you started working together as a duo? What was the funniest gig?
When you're up singing, it's what you see out in front of you, and because a lot of times we'd have dances, people up dancing to what we did.
They were wild dancers, weren't they?
Patty's probably better at telling a story than me.
Which story though?
About the fella at Murrurundi.
He'd come in there every week, and he'd rave on and rave on and rave on, and we just let him go, and then one day Lynn got real annoyed with him, and she said, "I've had enough of you." She said, "You can get to the back of the room."
Down the back.
Down the back. Because she was really wild. Don't see Lynn like that very often, but anyway, to the back of the room he went. Then we played down there, might have been 3 weeks after or something, like we had a regular gig there. He came in, he said, "Hello Lynn, hello Patti," went straight to the back of the room.
So you had him educated?
Yeah, and I thought,
made me feel a little bit bad.
If anybody done that to me, I think I'd leave. But no, he went straight to the back of the room.
Well, most people wouldn't expect that. It would have come as a shock.
And then we were playing at the Loco once, and the bar was not very far away from us, and they were complaining about one fella said it was too loud, and the other fella next to him said it wasn't, and then said, "Well, you can stay there and you can go to the back of the room." And then you
sort the sound
and he
out.
said, they're looking around, this is the acoustics, and Lindsay, we will knock that wall out there later. I remember being playing out at Somerton.
Yeah.
And it was a real good night out there, and this fella, and I had put a new string on me 12-string guitar, it's sticking up, and this fella staggered over here and went straight up his nose. And I thought, I could have taken his eye out with that, Went straight up his nose, he just soon moved.
They were fun days, weren't they? People went out to enjoy life, and there was a little bit more freedom in venues back there than what we have now.
Totally different.
And you mainly worked the northwest, like that was the main.
Like out to Lightning Bridge,
We spent 3 days there once time.
We did a long weekend.
And we thought, oh Jesus, they don't like us, we're stuck here for 3 days. But luckily they did.
I think I made out a day to the Swamp Doctors, Dave Alexander. They were staying in the same motel.
Yeah.
They were playing at the
club.
And we're at that resort that had just been built.
Yeah.
But they came down to watch us, and we said, "Oh, well, we finish up. Was it Sunday night?" And we'd go up there. We
got up and sang.
We got up and sang with them because they were rock and roll. So we were having
it was a good weekend.
It was a good weekend.
Turned out that way, but you just don't know.
How do you compare the concert performing to the dance band performing? What would you prefer?
I think the dance band myself.
Yes.
Because you can do more variety of songs. Concerts, because we'll do straight country, or straight bush ballad.
So you find the concert performances a little bit restrictive and limiting in what you can present?
Yes, because you're only up there for a couple of songs too.
You can't
sometimes it might take about 3 or 4 songs to unwind a bit.
Get the feel for it.
Get the feel of it,
But at the same time, I do like concerts. I like both.
Yeah, like a blend of both.
Yes.
I have to say that I personally, I love doing dance band stuff when I was a kid and learning, and I still like that for rehearsal and to work up new songs and trial things because it's not so critical. But I'm very much a concert performer. I would prefer to do a concert any day.
That's right.
Yes, and I thought you two would be the same. I found that surprising that you still love the freedom of the dance band type.
I think that's an outlet. You can break out. That's that's what I like, the feeling of doing.
And when I feel when they get up dancing,
then you're ready to get back into your concert stuff.
Yes.
It's like letting us out.
and when they're dancing, you know they're enjoying themselves. That's how I like looking at the dancers too.
Yeah.
I'm what you call it, entertain myself.
Yeah. Now, both of you have had recording careers as well, and you've released several albums. How does it feel when you actually hear your song on the radio? Does it still give you a buzz when you've recorded a new single and you hear it, or because you've been in it for so long?
It still does.
It gives you a buzz.
It does.
You're always critical of yourself.
Yeah. Because I'll be sitting there listening, I think I know that introduction, and it's you know, so...
Yeah. Well, I know both your new singles that were released on the Country Collection last year enjoyed widespread attention across Australia, because we see a lot of the playlists that come in, and so both your singles perform very well.
Very good.
So these days you would basically select your shows that you do agree to do just because you want to?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're both basically semi-retired,
That's right.
you have that freedom to select what you want to do and what you don't.
I was recently asked the coast to start with, and this fellow asked me would we be interested in going over there, and I said, look, no. It's for charity and that, and I said, look, I'll think about it,
but no.
Well, that's pretty straight.
Well, he knows me, so.
Yeah, God love you. That's one thing I have come to know. You're very direct, Patti, and you and I talk the same language, don't we?
I don't mean to be at times.
Oh, but there's never any secret. It's great.
Straight down.
So I remember when I met my husband, he said, "Oh, you can be very abrupt." With people, they come over to me, like to say, and I'd say, "What do you want?"
Lindsay tells me that all the time, and I go, "Really?"
And I didn't realise I was doing that.
No, I thought I was being very polite.
Yeah, what do you want? And then he realised that I was like that all the time. He said, "You were like that with your own kids."
Well, everyone knows where they stand, and there's never any question about how you're feeling, Pat. It's perfect.
It's good to be in a position, though, where you can pick and choose what you want to do, and I think you've got to be able to choose what you want to do to be happy.
That's right.
That's my gauge, what I work by. Be happy with
Absolutely.
each job you take on.
Yeah, and I don't like working on my own. I love working with Lynn, so...
And vice versa, It's
so,
just a good match, really.
Yeah, we've been doing it a long time.
Musically, you complement each other. It's an interesting act because musically you're very different.
Yeah.
However, the blend just works.
When we were at Lightning Ridge, there's a young woman studying us.
Yeah.
She came up to us and she said to me, "Now you're tall, but you got the higher voice, and you're short."
You got the deep voice.
You got that deep voice.
And she said that it works.
It intrigued her. She watched us all weekend. All weekend she watched us, studied us.
Well, you're actually polar opposites, and I've actually I've done that over the years too. Just your styles, you would think that it wouldn't work, but it just does, and it seems to be a very symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
I think too, it's just lucky for me because I'm on the harmony side of it.
Yeah.
That Patti just sings in an ideal key.
Yeah, perfect.
She's a lower key than me, and it just works so easy.
Yeah, so easy on your voice.
It's easy on the voice.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic having you both here today.
Well,
Thank you so much, Shaza. It's been lovely being here with you.
Thanks very much.
Two of Australian country music's legends, Lynette Guest and Patti Morgan. Thank you.
I walked down this old lonely street and no one seems to want to speak. Ah, but who cares? Yeah, who cares for me? All the world seems cold, everything is grey, nothing seems the same since you went away. Ah, but who cares? through life with this hopeless love. Oh, why can't I be set free? All I want is you. All I know is you. But somehow our love just can't be. Ah, but who cares? Yeah, who cares for me? Well, surely happiness can be found. Surely this one for me. Must I go through life with this hopeless love? Oh, why can't I be set free? All I want is you. All I know is you. But somehow our love just can't be. Ah, but who cares? Yeah, who cares for me? Well, who cares? Yes, who cares for me?
They're just climbing mountains and building bridges. There's no doubt that they've lost their way. They're just searching for that high road that they used to travel on each day. Everything that they built together seems to pale as they fuss and fight. And most times they just can't remember what it's about, let alone who's wrong or right. They're just climbing mountains and building bridges. There's no doubt that they've lost their way. They're just searching for that high road that they used to travel on each day. They just know it's worth the time they're giving to rebuild all that's been torn down, carving out the pathway to a future so they can find their way next time round. They're just climbing mountains and building bridges. There's no doubt that they've lost their way. They're just searching for that high road that they used to travel on each day. They're just searching